Mic testing 1 2 3. 1 2 3 mic testing. Mic testing 1 2 3. 1 2 3.
Testing 1 2 3 1 2 3 mic testing. Testing mic testing 1 2 3 1 2 3 mic testing.
गुड, अच्छा है ना, परसेंटेज बेटर और क्या जरूरत है? गुड गुड, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर कमिंग। गुड मॉर्निंग सर, कैसे हैं आप? आइए आइए, कम कम।
फोटो के लिए थोड़े से इधर
Please take your seats.
And also knowing sets you up. यहाँ पे जो certain times in the you settle down.
Contemplate and see properly how things are going on.
It's a pause. It is actually a physical pause that leads to it.
Because in case you're already in the mode of functioning of the office, then you're already in closed loop, right? Then you're not opened up. So the
Please settle down.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome, everybody.
Shall we start, sir? Respected dignitaries on the dais, Shri Shailendra Singh sir, Director Personnel, THDC India Limited, Shri Paresh Ranpara sir, Director HR, Grid India, Shri Mridul Maheshwari sir, CHRO, Spectra and VNL, Shri Ashish Kaul sir, Director, SHRM, and all the esteemed participants present here, a very good morning and very warm welcome to one and all. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to the inaugural ceremony of Vimarsh, THDC HR Confluence 2025, organized in collaboration with SHRM here at THDC's HRD Center, Takshila, Rishikesh. The objective of Vimarsh, THDC HR Confluence 2025 is to create a collaborative platform for HR leaders, professionals, and academicians to deliberate on emerging trends, share best practices, and exchange innovative ideas shaping the future of work. This confluence aims to address contemporary challenges in the HR domain, explore people-centric strategies, and strengthen organizational excellence by fostering dialogue across industries and institutions. Nestles amidst the lush green surroundings of the Himalayas, the THDC's HRD Center is not just a training destination, but a true center of excellence. Recently certified as Center of Excellence by SHRM, this world-class facility has set benchmarks in professional learning. With modern infrastructure, state-of-the-art classroom, and serene residential cottages, the HRD Center is designed to inspire innovation, learning, and collaboration. Over the years, it has proudly partnered with leading organizations such as REC, Grid India, Tata Power, Adani Green, PowerGrid, NTPC, and many other, delivering impactful programs across diverse domains, be it technical, finance, HR, strategy, leadership, or health and wellness. Truly, this is a hub where knowledge meets practice and where ideas transform into action. And what better place to host this conference than Rishikesh, the spiritual and cultural heart of India. Known worldwide as the yoga capital of the world, Rishikesh offers peace, rejuvenation, and divine inspiration on the banks of holy Ganga. The beauty of this city, combined with the world-class learning atmosphere of HRD Center, makes this gathering truly special. Now, we extend a warm welcome to the esteemed dignitaries on the dais and sincerely thank them for joining us today. Despite their busy schedules and the short notice, they have graced this session with their valuable presence, making this occasion even more meaningful for all of us. We also take the opportunity to extend our heartfelt gratitude to all the distinct participants who have traveled from various reputed organizations across the country to be a part of the conference. Also, a heartfelt gratitude to SHRM, our knowledge partner, for not only joining hand with us, but also bringing together such fine dignitaries through thought leaders and speakers for their valuable support in organizing this event. Now, to begin the ceremony on a graceful note, we would now like to extend a traditional welcome to our esteemed dignitaries. For this, I would like to invite Dr. A.N. Tripathi, CGM HRND, for presenting a bouquet, a shawl, and the Garwari topi symbolizing the culture and warmth of Uttarakhand. So please. A big round of applause. Thank you, sir. To signify the light of knowledge, wisdom, and positivity, we shall now proceed with the lamp lighting ceremony. May this light inspire us to walk the path of learning and innovation. I request our dignitaries to kindly come forward and light the ceremonial lamp.
भाई फ्रंट में जाओ
Thank you, sir. Moving ahead, I would now like to invite our respected Director Personnel, THDC India Limited, Shri Shailendra Singh Sir, to deliver the welcome address and briefing. Sir has been the guiding force behind this conference, and we look forward to hearing his thought and vision. Sir, please.
Warm welcome to one and all. First of all, I'd like to cite a few lines from that is for the wellness of our Nature Training Center and for all the participants who are gathered here today. Pranmay Shesa Devam Gauri Putram Vinayakam Bhakta Vasam Samare Nitmayu Kamat Siddhe Pratham Vakatundam Tum Ekdantam Jutikam Titam Krishna Pingaksham Gajvakatram Chadukam Lambu Daram Pancham Tum Shet Vikvecha Satam Vignarajendram Dhumvaram Tathastham Navam Bhalachandram Tum Dasham Tu Vinayakam Ekadasha Ganapati Dwadasha Tu Gajananam Dvad Chetani Namami Tasandhyam Pate Nara Nata Vignabhayam Tasya Sarvasiddhi Karputi Prabhu विद्या के लगते विद्या धना के लगते धन प्रसार के लगते प्रथमोपचार के लगते गति जपित गणपति स्तोत्रम छठी मास्य फलम संवत शरीर सिद्धि लगते नात्र संशय. That is for wellness of all of us today. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Respected Shri Paresh Rambalaji, Director Did India, Shri Mr. Srivastava, CPO, Dr. Tripathi, CGM TCL, Mr. Kaul, and all my HR colleagues gathered here today. It gives me immense pleasure to extend a very warm welcome to all the distinguished delegates, senior leaders, and eminent officers from power CPSUs and other esteemed sectors who have gathered here today for Vimarsh, the HR Summit being organized by THDC India Limited in collaboration with SHRM India. This summit is not just a congregation of HR leaders, but a platform for dialogue, exchange of ideas, and co-creation of strategies that will help shape the future strategies of human resource management in our organizations and open dialogue to embrace the upcoming challenges, changes, and enable us to collaborate and to be ready to face them collectively with mutual knowledge sharing and collective strategy. The name of our summit, Vimarsh, is a Sanskrit word that translates to deliberation or discussion. It perfectly encapsulates the purpose of our gathering here today to engage in a meaningful dialogue on the ever-evolving landscape of HR, sharing insights, experiences, and charting a path forward together. Over the past 4 years, the role of HR has transformed dramatically. We have moved from being administrators to strategic partners, from managing policies to cultivating culture. We are no longer simply reacting to change, rather, we are at the forefront of driving it. This summit will allow us to collectively deliberate on these evolving initiatives and practices and to openly discuss the persistent challenges of HR in an ever-changing business environment. Today, HR is standing at the crossroads of technology, strategy, and people centricity. HR's voice in strategic decisions is still evolving. Many boards focus primarily on financials and operations. However, today HR can no longer be seen only as administrative. Boards now expect HR to drive talent strategy, culture, and organizational resilience. HR leaders must assert themselves as strategic partners, bringing workforce insights to decisions on talent management, mergers, expansions, digital investments, and sustainability. The challenge before HR is not the same as they were in early 80s or even 90s. With a shift from personal to HR, then HR to strategic HR, and now people and work management in the age of AI, the role of HR is ever evolving. We all are witnessing these changes and have to be prepared to embrace them and effectively deal with them. Indian PSUs often have employees spanning 3 generations: senior staff near retirement, middle level managers, and Gen Z entrants. Aligning their aspirations, work styles, and expectations is major HR challenge. A whole new generation of Gen Z is now a sizable population of the workforce. This generation is different from other generations. Gen Z prefers dynamic industries such as technical companies, startups, and retail fields over the traditional CPSUs or infrastructure companies. They value purpose, growth, and flexibility more than job security. This pushes PSUs like us to rebrand ourselves as innovative, sustainable, and impactful employers. Gen Z grew up with smartphones, social media, and instant access to information. They expect tech-enabled HR processes, digital onboarding, AI-driven learning platforms, transparent performance dashboards. Manual and bureaucratic processes frustrate them. Therefore, HR must speed up digital adoption, which we should extend beyond SAP ERP. Gen Z seeks fast growth, diverse experiences, and continuous skill upgrades. In PSUs, rigid hierarchies and low promotions may motivate them. HR therefore has to create career pathways, learning opportunities, cross-functional exposure to keep themselves engaged. Unlike older generations who accepted tough postings without question, Gen Z prioritizes well-being, flexible work, and location choice. For higher projects in remote locations, this becomes a major challenge and gives HR an opportunity to try out innovative policies, rotation postings, digital remote roles, family support systems to make remote jobs attractive. Gen Z thrives on continuous feedback and quick recognition. They are used to instant likes and shares in digital life. Traditional annual appraisals feels outdated to them. This gives HR an opportunity to introduce real-time feedback systems, mentoring and peer recognition platforms. Moving from job-secure, compliance-driven CPSU's culture to a more performance-driven, innovation-oriented culture is essential. HR must lead this shift without disrupting stability and fairness. The power sector faces pressure to align with India's green energy transition and ESG goals. HR must integrate sustainability, gender diversity, and inclusivity in its people policies. Today, everywhere we talk about AI, the emergence of AI is creating some fascinating and complex challenges for HR. While AI offers immense potential for the efficiency and data-driven decisions, it also brings new responsibilities and dilemmas. The integration of AI is presenting a brand new set of challenges for human resource professionals. While AI-driven HR digital onboarding and HR analytics are growing in private enterprise, CPCs are still catching up. The challenge is to adopt modern technologies while balancing bureaucracy, compliance, and change management. The most immediate challenge is to prepare the workforce for the future. As AI automates routine tasks like data entry and administrative work, HR needs to focus on reskilling employees for roles that require human-centric skills like creativity, critical thinking, and emotional intelligence. the new job landscape demands that HR shifts from managing to nurturing talent. The AI algorithms can inadvertently perpetuate and even amplify existing biases, especially in critical areas like recruitment, performance reviews, and promotions. A key challenge for HR is to ensure that AI is used fairly and ethically with a focus on transparency and accountability. This means actively auditing algorithms for biases and maintaining a human oversight to prevent unfair outcomes. As more processes become automated, there is a real risk of losing the personal connection that is fundamental to HR. The challenge is to find the right balance using AI for efficiency while keeping the human element of empathy, conflict resolution, and fostering a strong company culture. AI can handle the what, but it is up to HR professionals to handle the how and the why. AI systems require vast amounts of employee data to function effectively, from performance metrics to communication patterns. This creates a new set of challenges around data security and privacy. HR must establish clear policies, get proper consent, and ensure robust security measures to protect sensitivity employee information from misuse or breaches. Today, every Indian industrial sector is changing and evolving. Similarly, when we talk of power sector, we witness a whole lot of government initiatives, programs, thrust on green energy, zero emission targets, etc. Transition of India from a power deficit to power surplus country showcases the effort of this sector and a massive hard work this sector has made for the country. HR has also a big role in achievement made by this private sector. But with the changing pace of time, there have emerged several new challenges as well. For Indian hydro and power PSUs, HR's real test lies in attracting new talent, reskilling the workforce for a more renewable and a digital future, ensuring engagement in remote areas, and elevating HR's role to strategic decision making while preserving the human touch in highly technological driven era. Power sector is rapidly shifting towards renewable, smart grids, and digital operations. Legacy skills in conventional hydro and thermal setups need to be upgraded with AI and Internet of Things, predictive maintenance, and automation. HR must drive large-scale reskilling and upskilling programs for engineers, technicians, and managers. HR itself must evolve. The challenge is to transition from largely administrative function to more strategic, data literate, and empathetic work. This means that HR professionals will need to develop new skills in AI management, data analysis, and change leadership. Instead of simply managing people, HR will be responsible for managing the symbiotic relationship between humans and artificial intelligence. No matter the scale of the changes we face, the spirit of HR must remain one of resilience and constant innovation. We must embrace technology and leverage its power, but never at the cost of losing the essential human touch that defines our profession. The future will bring new challenges, but by staying true to our core principles, we will not only be overcoming them, but also emerge stronger. I extend my deepest gratitude to each one of you for your presence and participation, your insightful and invaluable insights, and I am confident that our deliberations will be fruitful. I encourage you all to make the most of your time here in Rishikesh. Please take this opportunity to enjoy the serene beauty of this spiritual city. Immerse yourself in the lush green environment and experience the power of nature. We have also a special visit planned to the impressive Theory Farmhouse complex, a testament to human ingenuity and source of national pride. I once again thank everyone and wish this summit offers food for thought for all and a few takeaways.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring word. Sir has beautifully explained the role of HR in this ever-evolving world. Next, we have the privilege of listening to the inspiring words of our Chairman and Managing Director, Shri R.K. Vishnu sir, through his special video message. Sir's vision has always been a source of motivation for all of us, and we are honored to hear his address.
It gives me a great pleasure to know that the HR professionals from several parts of the country, they have gathered here on the occasion of this Vimarsh HR Summit at the serene place of Rishikesh. I also have pleasure to see that the interest of the people or the participants in this summit has been great, and the way the participants have come over and they have volunteered to discuss and deliberate several issues related to challenges which the HR sector will face in the coming future. I extend the warm welcome to each one of you from the THDC side, and I also congratulate my Director Personnel, Mr. Shailendra Singh, and his team that they have organized such a wonderful gathering of such relevant experts of this HR discipline. They have done a great job. We have a beautiful place here where this is being organized, and there is a proximity of river Ganga, where you people can definitely de-stress yourself, rejuvenate yourself, despite all kinds of busyness and the workload which you might be having during this time. I feel that this summit is being held at a very appropriate time, in the sense that when our Honorable Prime Minister of the country has given a call for a Viksit Bharat by year 2047, by when we have to be one among the very few developed nations in the world. We are only 22 years away, and in year 2047 we will be completing 100 years of independence. He has already laid down the roadmap. The roadmap is absolutely clear, which says that we have to be self-sufficient, self-confident, self-sustaining in each and every sector of the economy, be it the production of resources, be it the exports, be it the internal consumption of resources, and of course the greatest of them is the infrastructure. So all this has already been planned by the concerned departments of the Government of India, and the challenge ahead of us is now to act on that. Now, while we say that we have to act on these planning part, the role of the HR professionals in any organizations becomes very, very important. Why? Because it is the human strength or the human power which makes the thing, or which makes any sort of challenge to get resolved, and also to take action which can lead to the development or the fast development. That is possible only when you have a competent workforce, a reliable workforce, and mentally and morally satisfied workforce. So workforce is an important component of any organization or the department, and with this objective I am happy that this particular summit has been organized, and the deliberations would be centered or the scattered around this particular central theme of creating a workforce which is confident and competent to take up these challenges. I would like to flag the importance of the power sector in this particular Viksit Bharat campaign. Power is an important commodity, and no developed nation has ever ignored this particular fact. The developed nations have already been doing it for several decades. Our government for the last 1.5 decade and maybe more, they have paid due attention to this particular sector. It started with the formation of Electricity Act in the year 2003, when the whole of power sector, was put to a new kind of renovation or a new kind of delivery of service. So I feel that the power sector challenges should be the ones which should be discussed in this summit, and the immediate challenges are that the thrust of the government on the increase of renewables and then integration of these renewables with the main grid, the importance of the green hydrogen, importance of the storage facilities, the people required to execute such large and mammoth projects, the sourcing of people from the domestic companies or the international companies, and of course the biggest of them all is that how to retain that workforce with full satisfaction and the emotion of aspirations to rise further in their career. So this is extremely important, and the execution of such projects, whether it is from any source of energy, the wind, the solar, the hydro, thermal, and the new sectors which are opening up now like geothermal and hydrogen sector, green hydrogen sector. So these sectors, what we have to see that we provide the adequate number of competent and able workforce to work in these particular projects. So this is something which we must deliberate, because this is a challenge as of now. This will be a challenge in next 5 years also in the future. As we increase the number of projects on the ground, the biggest challenge would be, of course, sourcing the competent manpower, which definitely is in great shortage today. So this is something which you participants have to deliberate, and you have to come to a conclusion, make certain suggestions to the government, to the organizations who are going to take up these projects, and then of course also other than this, there are other social issues also which need to be addressed at the same time while we tread the path of development. Those social issues we should not forget. There is always in the mind of developers to take care of the environment and social issues. Now for that also, we need to have a good set of manpower who can, take us through the existing regulations, norms, not only nationally but internationally also, and then they can guide us and light us through this development process with great emphasis on social and environmental values. I am very happy again, I would say, and I welcome you all at this great place, which is not only religious in nature, but also, this is just to decongest your brains and minds from your daily routine and be with the nature for next 2 to 3 days, whatever you plan to stay here. Also, I have learned that you people will be taking a visit to the flagship project of the country, that is Tehri Hydropower Complex, where the great projects have come up. These are the temples of the modern India, and great engineering works have been done there. Though it's a HR set of people, but still you can appreciate that what the engineers of the country have done there. So we have just finished completion of 1000 megawatt pumped storage projects, which I just mentioned, and that would be the beginning of the storage, creating storage assets in the country. So I encourage you to make a good visit to this particular project and then be enriched with the kind of developmental activities which you have taken up there. So in the end, I would again welcome all of you and encourage you to participate with whole heart in the deliberations and come out with great recommendations and suggestions. I would be waiting that particular document. Thank you very much.
Thank you. CMD sir has rightly set the tone for this program now. Now, before starting the formal sessions, I would like to invite our MC, Shri Vallabh, a well-known and respected personality in the corporate work to take this proceeding forward further. Shri Vallabh is a prolific, multi-talented scriptwriter, singer, actor, and director and producer involved in corporate and commercial theatre, films, and more. He also has over 30 years of rich work experience in diverse fields in inclusion and diversity, people capability, and leadership development with corporate across regions like USA, UK, Europe, China, Egypt, Indonesia, Poland, Singapore, Japan, Sri Lanka, UAE, and Malaysia. So let's welcome him with a big round of applause, please. Sir.
Yes. That was a brilliant introduction, wasn't it? Thank you so much. Alright, namaste delegates and dignitaries. A very good morning to you and welcome to Vimarsh, THDC HR Confluence 2025. A maiden HR Confluence by THDC India Limited. My name is Shri Vallabh and I'll be your host for the day. Now, what better way to start this journey than a beautiful morning, monsoon morning, in the serene surroundings of Devbhoomi Uttarakhand, and a beautiful campus like Takshashila. Am I too loud? No. Okay. Okay. Is better, sir? Okay. And we're all under the care of the mighty Himalayas for the day, so do enjoy your day as well as possible. And as such, SHRM is proud to be associated with THDC and specifically with this conference as a knowledge partner. And we have lined up a series of conversations and deliberations today, which are going to throw up a multitude of insights for each one of us to take home. And I'm excited to witness the day, and I hope you are too. Right, so without further ado, let's start among the series. We'll start with the first panel discussion. We call it as Confluence Conversations. And the title of this panel discussion is The Strategic HR Pivot. Leadership Readiness in an AI-driven World. And to participate in this panel discussion, I'm so excited to introduce the dignitaries, Shri Shalinder Singhji, Director, Personnel, THDC India Limited, Shri Paresh Rampara, Director, HR, Grid India. Mr. Rampara is an HR professional with many years, 30 plus years of work experience working with state-owned power sectors, companies like the Gujarat Electricity Board, and private sectors. Then we have Shri Mridul Srivastava, business transformation leader and solutionist with over 22 years of work experience across sectors like hospitality, real estate, financial services, medtech, and he's worked with companies like IT Swatyas, DLF, Heroes.com, to name a few among many. And this panel discussion is being moderated by none other than Shri Ashish Kaul, Director, Consulting and Capability Building and Business Head, SHRM BSE. Shri Ashish comes with more than 21 years of work experience providing HR consulting specializations to various clients across regions like India, Middle East, Americas, and Southeast Asia. He's worked in companies like Gallup, Mercer, DDI, and Aon before beginning his stint at SHR. So I'm excited to witness this. Are you? Yes. Let's hear it. If one being the most silent and 5 being the loudest, I'd like to hear a level of 5. Are you excited? Yes. Okay, very good. We're at number 2. I'm looking at number 5. Are you excited? Yes. Okay, we'll reach 5 through the day. Thank you so much. Over to you, Ashish, to take over the proceedings.
Thank you so much for Srivalabh, and thank you so much for being at level 2, because that was building performance pressure on me. So it's such an honest gathering here, and thank you so much, sir, for organizing this and getting us all here. Thank you so much, sir, for I know it. He's flying over in 4 days to Canada, and I'm sure there's a lot of work to be done at office, but he chose to come and talk to us. So thank you so much. Mridul, thank you so much. Can't help. Thank you enough for coming out and talking to us. I am sure that each one of you, are aware of the AI, that is kind of taken over. I see a lot of memes on Insta, and all of you are on Insta or LinkedIn. Can we have a show of hands? How many of you are on social media? Yeah, okay. Thank God, आप लोग सब बचे हुए हैं. So there's this huge, surge, on social media saying that we left the Google and we have adopted ChatGPT. आप सबने देखे होंगे वो memes. But what is important is that whether we like it or don't like it, it is going to be here. The AI world is over here. So what we're going to do in the next 40 minutes and 45 minutes is to kind of ask these analysts of what does it mean from a leadership perspective, what does it mean from a future perspective at workplaces. And then of course I'm going to also open it up towards the end for each one of you to ask questions. So make sure that you don't let them go out of this room without asking the questions. We will ensure that our panelists do give us the answers. Just to set up some context of how is AI kind of doing in the world of AI, at workplaces. Some research that SHRM does, and a lot of research that various other parties do, and kind of giving you a context. AI by 2030 in India's just in India is almost projected to create 3.4 million jobs. 2030, it's not very far off, 5 years, but and that's how it is projected to say. Now, as I was listening to the chairman, sir, I was just kind of linking the two, that by 2047, and I know that we have a renewable goal of about 500 gigawatt. Now, if you link the two together, numbers kuch to message de rahe humko, and therefore then our panelists will decode that for us. Globally, in the energy sector, I'm just talking about the energy sector. Globally, there is a AI market of about 11.53 USD billion. Just in the energy sector, AI, kind of use in the energy sector is 11.53 USD billion, which is growing at almost about 30% CAGR. Now that tells you where the world is going and where we are. Some food for thought. I am a proud Indian, and I want India to be the world guru. But I think some roadblocks, particularly when we're talking about AI in the current world, that we need to kind of cover up. I'm going to give you some more facts, and then I'm going to kind of move on to our panelists. But in India, and this last number actually shocked me. In India, almost about 49% of energy companies, of the total energy companies in India, almost 49% of companies have allocated budgets on AI. So it's a brainer to say that a lot of the private and the corporates have already started to kind of use AI. And PSUs are also doing a catch-up. I work with the Grid India with Sir, and I know that we do have association with Power Grid and many other, with NTPC and many others, and I'm sure my friends here at NTPC would know this. So there is of course something that we're doing in the PSU sector on AI as well. But here is the funny part of it. Now, of course, 49% globally is a low number because energy sector across the globe is doing much more, because that's why they have a 11.53 kind of USD billion investment into it. But in India it is low, and even the lowest is in HR. So while as our sector has come up, but HR is still lagging behind in adopting HR. HR is any which ways less acceptable to AI except the recruitment, which is it is being used heavily right now. But beyond that, not many organizations, and particularly in our energy sector, is not being used. Globally, just to set the context, what is AI in energy sector is being used around? So they are doing it to do maintenance, which is the predictive maintenance. We talked about it. And then it is also being used in optimizing a grid. And if India is doing it, if we are ambitions of one grid, one world, so therefore, how do we optimize that? How do we store energy is going to be the next level. And therefore, that's the context that I'm trying to set up. So here is a business requirement, and here is a complex energy sector which is using AI. On top of it, we want to be the world. We should, to Guru, we have ambitions of one world, one grid, and we have a lesser impact through AI, which is important to us, and therefore in HR we are doing it at the lowest. So with that context, sir, I just want to turn to you and ask you in terms of challenges, because I'm sure, sir, हम ये ऐसे जानबूझ के तो नहीं कर रहे कि हम ये use करेंगे, but I'm sure there are challenges, that come in implementing AI at in HR or at work, and then therefore what are the challenges and the opportunities that you think the current workplaces in terms of HR provide us that could lead us to becoming an AI total.
Thank you very much. As a director, personal, and especially as we are, conclave relating to HR, the impact which we are discussing is the leadership readiness in an AI-driven world. The technological impacts and the scenario around this, which is being driven around the world, is for us to see everywhere. But when we see things which are from HR perspective, whenever we deliberate around certain things which are different from the status quo, there is an element of change. So while we are discussing AI, the latent forces which are working or against is the thought of change. Power and so on and so forth sectors, it's not a matter of choice. It's an accepted fact. And the early we realize and accept this and go with it as fast as possible, the first word, initiative, that will be the real thing. Because we have a lot of competition from, even in Southeast Asia, from let's say Korea, Japan, Vietnam, as far as IT-related fields are concerned. Not specifically IA driven, but even otherwise. So, very important things which we need to understand is, while impacting a change, it is a function like, which I just talked about, Gen X, Y, and Z, and how the business are being run. So it is very, very important we understand how we are going about it and try to have a roadmap of implementation of change. And then we must discuss, like very frequently we discuss in this country that we have a very big population, in case we go for automation and all, it leads to lots of job, less opportunities. And I just showed there will be change of the role of the employment, but they will be there in case we are the first bird out there. So we need to embrace the technological advances, be prepared for it, and plan out for it. Then it will be a much more conducive and smooth affair.
So what I heard you say, sir, is that it's a mindset shift, like any other change. And second, what you said is that whether we like it or not, it is a change, and we have to accept it, and therefore we can have a first mover advantage if you do that.
Definitely.
Sir, how is this mindset shift different from whatever mindset shifts that we would have? I heard you when you were talking, you said that there was a change that happened in the 80s. No, I'm sure we would have gone through change. But there's a change that's going right now. Is this a different kind of a change, or is it like any other change that has happened in the past?
I would also like to give my observations on something else. When we see some organizations who have survived for, let's say, 100 years, they have certain common factors and some strengths which differentiates from the others, which pop up on the screen and vanish after 10 years. And some of the theme and the backbone of those companies is that they are very much flexible and innovative friendly. So whenever changes are there, changes will be always impacting the industry, whether it's IEA or financial or technological, they will always be impacting and bombarding the organization. But in case we have a setup which is flexible from framework and ready to adopt the new changes and all, so that is very, very important mindset. Because this will not be, even IEA when we talk, it's not a fixed thing that this is the technology or that Windows 7, to that level you have to have your level of change. Even that IEA is continuously changing. When we're talking about HR change is there, but even within that IEA and technological, even that is being impacted and being changing continuously. So this is a continuously changing environment in which we have to evolve ourselves and be ahead of the scheme of things.
Well said. The only thing I think that is changing with today's genes itself, so it's a ever evolving world. Let me turn to Paresh sir. So Paresh sir, from your perspective, opportunities that you see in terms of AI coming into workplace, particularly HR.
Thank you, Ashish. Thank you, Ashish. Surinder Singh ji. First of all, congratulations for organizing such a wonderful event in this case. Very true. Things are changing, and change is the only element which is going to happen forever. Which is constant. It is inevitable. And as an organization, we have to be prepared to embrace the change, right? So, in any organization, since the topic is legacy system versus the transformation through AI, so change is inevitable, and any change brings discomfort, right? So, any change is happening. Take the example when in any organization ERP is going to be introduced. Then legacy system versus ERP, then a lot of discomfort will be there, and discomfort will lead to resistance from the employees. So transformation is always a challenge for any organization, and role of HR is very critical in this transformation phase for any organization. So HR has to be prepared for this role as far as transformation is concerned. As far as AI is concerned, I was when I heard about this topic first, I thought let me go to ChatGPT. So that is the impact of ChatGPT. You rightly said that people are shifting from Google to ChatGPT. That's very true. In fact, I would say AI is there to serve us. AI is there to serve the human beings, serve the people, not other way around, right? So we should not be slave to AI. AI should help us in decision making, strategizing the things. They should generate the report. They should, they should be good in analytics. But three things AI cannot replace, right? One is insight, second is intuition, and third is interpretation. Right? So insight, intuition, and interpretation, that cannot be replaced by AI, and that's where the people, the human capital of the organization plays very significant role, and we should not forget that. We should remember that. We should, navigate and capitalize on this aspect of the human being. As we said, any organization has a few critical elements as an organization. Like if we compare with the body, as in our human body, there is a bloodstream. So people of the organization are like bloodstream, right? We have structure in the body, right? We have our skeleton of the body. Likewise, every organization has structure, right? We have our own DNA. In human body, we have our own DNA, and likewise, every organization its own culture, right? We have various systems. We are communicating. These systems are communicating with one another. We have respiratory system, or we have various organs have different systems. So likewise, organization has also various systems. So in that context, I would say, as human body, each system, each element interact with one another. The organization also has to be interactive and collectively take up this challenge, which probably AI will bring in time to come, and which already has brought to the organization. So, as a PSU also has a big challenge. As you rightly said, that HR is slightly slow in adopting AI. So probably we have to be more responsive and more proactive to adopt the benefits of AI. Definitely AI can play a very significant role in decisions as a HR professionals we take in strategizing strategizing to ensure that the objectives of the organizations are met effectively.
Thank you so much. See, at SHRM we are on a mission to tell the world that PSUs वैसे नहीं है जैसे बाहर से दिखते हैं. So which is why we bring in people from the corporate like Mridul. So Mridul, see the same question, but I want you to give us a perspective of what is the world outside, because हमको ऐसा लगता है PSU में बैठ के कि यार हम नहीं चेंज कर रहे, हमारा HR चेंज नहीं कर रहा, हमारे challenges, opportunities miss हो रहे. Tell us from a non-PSU perspective. Tell us all, how is it happening on the corporate side?
Sure. I think, Ashik, before that, I need to give a little perspective about how has been my experience, right? So, I have been working in the corporate world for the last 22 years and various set of organizations. I will talk about two precise organizations where I have spent almost half of my career. One is the recent one where I am working currently. This organization is basically Shyam Group, has been quite old in the system. If you erstwhile remember MTS Systema Shyam. So that's the legacy of the organization. Systems, process, everything is in place. But the moment you want to bring any change over there, the first statement you will hear, sir, this job needs to be done like this only. Right? So it's not about changing the process or system or a culture. It is about the mindset, inertia, what people have. Right? Let me give you another example of my the previous to previous organization, which is Hero. I was the one who was actually setting up the Hero in terms of the financial services, and this organization has a very unique, I would say, DNA or a probably attribute. It has a lot of data-driven focus activities, right? Had a cutting-edge technology from a day zero, right? Had a beautiful, I would say, leadership team who understand what needs to be done and how it needs to be done. But it has a different challenge. The challenge was, in this high speed of change, are my people going to be with me or not? At any point of time, I should not feel that my people have left behind at this speed of change. Right? So there was a different challenge. So for Shyam, I was acting more like a catalyst, right? Wherein I was trying to make people understand what is the bigger picture and how it is going to solve your problem today, right? While for Hero, I was acting more like a transformation in culture, wherein trying to make people upskill, reskill every day so that they should be in the pace of the organization and should not feel left alone at any point in time. So I think it's all about, are you able to change the mindset inertia or not? That's number one. Number two, irrespective of you are liking that change or not, right? Change will happen. Right? That's for sure. And I think when Ashish asked what is the difference between the older time and this time, the only difference for me is the speed of change, right? Till yesterday, probably it used to take more than 10 years to bring that change, but today it is less than 18 months, and now it is going to be even lesser than that. Right? You can see that every day your phone is getting shorter, smaller, faster. Right? So that change is continuing to happen. Now it's up to you that how fast you are able to keep yourself relevant in the market and continue to evolve and say that yes, I have something new to do. The role of the HR for me is little different over here. Right? The role of the HR is to make people discomfort to lead to them the future ready. Right? If you are not going to make people discomfort, right, then again you are not able to make them at par with the pace of the change. And then you will, when one fine day you will find out that people have been left behind and probably, your people are of no worthy enough in the current context. So that's what my take.
You don't have to take Mridul's word literally to make people discomfort. ऐसा मत करना कि कल से जाके आप beat रहे हो. But well said. I think one of the key things that I learned back, Mridul, and everybody can contribute to say, change in itself, you will have to play different roles. I love the fact that you said at one organization you played a catalyst and the other you were something else. Now let's, and that actually brings me to the other question. And, sir, this goes back to what you said when you were speaking there in your opening remarks. And please, sir, be honest, all of you. Tell me how easy or difficult is to get this new talent. हमें पता है change हो रहा है, हमें ये भी पता है कि technology चाहिए, हमें ये भी पता है कि how the world is changing. How easy or difficult? And I know that your sector has limitations, but how easy or difficult is it to get talent from outside, get the right talent? Because that also has its challenges. मिलता नहीं है, attract नहीं होते. Do they have the right skill sets? Are they actually ready, for the future which nobody knows what it is? Or is it better to build up? Or I know it will be a stupid question to ask you, what should you do? Should you build up internally or should you look outside? But help us understand, just solve this problem for us. Because a lot of us as HR keep on complaining, यार यहाँ के लोग, as Mridul said, ये पीछे रह गए. और नए जो आते हैं हम उनके बारे में यही बोलते हैं कि यार ये नए बच्चे कुछ समझते नहीं है. तो सर क्या करें हम इससे?
The flexibility which we have in the private sector, as we are talking or discussing about Hero and all, a little more, give you a lot more leverage. But in the government sector and CPSUs, we are a little handicapped at changing frequently is a little issue. But I have also done the experience of implementing a major change of getting the entire traditional system being converted to ERP setup, right from all the modules of not only HR, but procurement, work orders, and intertwining with also generation and all those things, operation maintenance related factors. But then again, we have that in government sector PSUs, Gen X, Y, and Z. So while Z is very keen to go ahead, but the people at the top like us are having that traditional outlook. So the more important thing is, if we talk about the government and PSU, and we're talking frankly, we need to have some sessions and some sensitization sessions for people like us in the top, rather than the people
at the below,
at the receiving end. So, in case in government we feel that changes are coming from the top, so it is very, very important we try to have that roadmap and let those people be aware that whatever decisions they are taking at a very large level, involving a very massive level of financial and strategic initiatives, it won't endanger the functioning of the organization. And for that, we must have the roadmap properly done in government sector, because it's not one particular thing which is impacting. if you're starting from the top, it will be impacting the entire thing. And at the lower level, our generations are very, very already adapted to it. The Z thing. So there's no shortage of dearth of manpower, or rather their acceptability. It is how we go and plan out smoothly for it, and that is not an easy task. And that too, especially in the compliance and government various statutory related issues set up.
And I completely agree to you, sir. When I come to THDC, I'm not saying this because I'm here, but the speed with which they execute here, and when I first came and I met these youngsters, I asked them, "तुम्हारा boss किधर है?" No, वो corporate office में उधर बैठता है, तो decision कौन लेता? हम ही लेते हैं. So that was something very kind of, and I see that across a lot of PSUs now, that the youngsters are more agile and much more faster, and something needs to be done at the top. But of course, having said so, sir, how do you solve this at Agri India? Because I see your team equally, youngsters taking good decisions, going smoothly, but I know that in your sector, if it is not policy driven, if it is not taken care from the top, it won't happen.
True. I also agree with Shailendra Singh ji that we have typical challenges being a PSU and government organization, right? Because we all know we are governed by TP guidelines, DOPT guidelines, and all that, right? And also, like procurement, we have to procure through GM portals, and all those limitations are there in public sector. But as a Green India, yes, we could attract the talent. We could attract the gate toppers to join as ET. We could attract the gate toppers. So now the problem as a HR is to retain and engage those talents, right? We have to meaningfully engage this talent. So one aspect is the talent at induction level. So we have very bright and talented workforce at E3, E4 level, right? So now one of the issue Mr. Shailendra Singh ji has also taken in this. We at top level, at senior levels, we should also have session for the senior leadership, right? So that's very important. I mean, there is a concept called reverse mentoring or reverse coaching. So probably we have to, go to the, younger workforce to understand their aspirations, how they believe that how work should be done, what should be the processes and systems should be, how decisions should be made. So we have to learn from them as well, and we also need to be agile, and align with them, right? So as we say that the team has to align with the leader, and at the same time leader also has to align with the team, right? So as Green India, we have regularly we also nurture our talent at national level, at P3, F4 level, and at the same time we also ensure that the people who are going to take over leadership role or who are already there in the leadership role, we also have personalized coaching for them. In fact, for E7 and E8 level, we have working. SHRM SHRM is working with us for one-on-one coaching for around 20-25 leaders who are identified to take over the leadership role. So that's how we nurture the talent in Green India. But yes, there are challenges for that. Also, as a leader, it's very important to deal with uncertainty, deal with ambiguity. Like a lot of ambiguity is going to happen, a lot of uncertainty is going to happen. So, as a leader, also we have to be prepared to deal with these aspects. I mean, we are a system operator. Like take the example of Green India. We are responsible for the grid security. We are the system operator. So, I mean, before 10 years back, we never thought that the penetration of renewable energy in the grid will be so ambitious. I mean, we never thought that we'll be catering around 250 gigawatt in the grid, right? So that was, I mean, nobody has thought that. And in fact, as far as solar energy or renewable energy is concerned, so what takes solar energy to reach at this level, it took almost 15 years. If we think about the pump storage, it is happening so fast, right? So who has thought that NTPC will have NTPC green? Name of the NTPC is National Thermal, right? Who has thought that THDC will venture into thermal, right? So, I mean, things are happening. I mean, it's changing. So, there's the challenge, and we.
And more so, sir, THDC also using this academy as a profit center.
Profit
so
center,
I think,
yeah.
I think that's immense work that you do. I would want us to give them a round of applause for not many, and maybe here to tell you, not many private companies would be able to do that. You know what? And that too in Rishikesh. I first time came here, I couldn't believe that. That's happening.
Another challenge I would like to highlight here is that we, as a TSU, we can attract the talent at industrial level, as we all know. But as far as we also need to get some lateral recruitment at middle level and senior level. So that is very challenging. In some of the, I mean, as far as possible, we try to identify the people within the organization internally to take over the leadership role. But for example, IT, I mean, recently, if I said the example of data, we have recently come out with the recruitment for IT professionals at the senior level. But the response we get is not very encouraging. So probably very few candidates who really meet the requirement, and I mean that is really challenging to attract the talent at the senior level. Yeah. If at all we go for that.
Fantastic. In fact, sir, talking on that one, I was talking to NTPC the day before, because they seem to be all over the internet on their recruitment would write. So I called them up to say, "Kya ho raha hai? Itne recruitments kar rahe?" They said that we just become social now. So so they're all over LinkedIn, Insta, kahin bhi jao aap. They are even on job portals you see NTPC recruitment rates. For a recent job that they had 30 posts, you will be surprised, 14,000 applications. So they have a problem on the other side now. But I think the change is happening, and we are seeing the sector aligning to that. All three of you made amazing points. I'm kind of coming towards the end, but of course, one question that I'll ask you to kind of one takeaway that you would want to tell the audience. But before that, one question I would ask, and starting with you, Pradul. Now that all three of you are aligned that leadership in the PSUs needs to change, and thank you so much, sir, for setting that context and tone. How would you describe the new age leadership? Gen Z to yahan change ho raha hai, change ho bhi chuke hain, agile hai, fast hai. But how does the leadership? What are those characteristics, if you had to name a few, that they need to show? And believe me, I believe, because I work for both PSU and corporate, वो एक myth है लोगों के दिमाग में. I genuinely believe this sector works much harder and better. It's just that corporate में हम लोग बहुत jazzy होते हैं, बहुत report में बहुत अच्छा करते हैं. But what are those characteristics that you believe the new leaderships should have, particularly when you know that it is going to be AI-driven world?
So Ashish, I would say, hearing the thoughts of both my co-panelists, I don't see much of difference from a corporate to a PSU side, right? And reason being that I would not say there's a shortage of talent, but there's a shortage of right set of talent. Right? It's always been there. How I have been dealing with, maybe I will talk about 2-3 points, how we have been dealing it in different organizations and how it has been beneficial to them. First and foremost, if you are going to look out for 100% skill set match, I don't think even the God has made somebody with 100% skill set match.
Books
में या sci-fi movies में मिल जाएगा आपको America, Captain America and all of that, but not in the real world, right? So if even you are getting a 65 or even 70% skill match, right? But at the same time, the person should also have the ability to learn. I think you should take that time, right? That's number one. Number two, at the same time, you also have to create a very strong learning continuum for talent inside the organization. And reason being, because even if you're getting it 65 or 70% skill match, you still need to bridge that 30% as per your organizational demand and the future demand. How are you going to fix it up? How are you going to bridge that gap through various programs, mentoring, reverse mentoring, all of that we should talk about. Third and the most important, and again I would agree to both the sirs, having a diverse generation under the one roof has always been a problem, right? I don't think X is still available, but Y, Z, right, and the millennials which has come up now. At a leadership level, it is important for you to have a detailed discussion before even bringing any new concept or a change, right? And why I'm saying that, because until unless that get thrashed completely, not in terms of the discussion but also in terms of the mindset of the people, don't move forward. And especially as an HR, right? Because you will keep taking that flag high saying मैं तो HR का एजेंडा था मैं तो चलाऊंगा, but उधर वो पीछे gentleman sitting at 50 years or 55 years of old age, he said कुछ नहीं करने वाला तुम्हारा कुछ नहीं होगा, बैठ जाओ मैं बताता हूँ कैसे होगा. So please have that discussion, get an alignment at the leadership level. If that happens, almost your 50-55% journey is through, right? At the same time, you also have to have very clear, you can say, expectation setting or a matricized, approach, that what is that expected from that leader in the course of change, right? Am I only asking you decision making? Am I asking you to direct your team? Are you asking him to be, collaborative with the team, or XYZ? And matricize that, so that again, when you start making the change, you can actually see the progress is happening, and or if it is not happening, where it is getting stuck completely. Right? So that way, probably it will be easier for you to drive the agenda and get your things done.
Right. That's a good one. Sir, what according to you would be those Remo characteristics, or whatever number of characteristics?
To my mind, well, I totally agree with whatever he said about the things leaders should have. So, there are, for me, the most critical trait of a leader is to take people along. That's very important. Well, that's very simple, but it's very important to take people along with you. So, whatever strategy as a leader you have, whatever vision you have for the organization, it is very important that you take people along with you. If you are failing in taking people along with you, then it's impossible to implement the strategies you have for the organization. So first important part is taking people along with you. The another aspect I would say is very important for the leadership is to take difficult decisions. I mean, many times I've seen leaders who hesitate to take a tough call. I mean, in any leadership role, be it the private sector, be it public sector, leaders have to take call. Calculated risk. A leader has to take a tough call. So leaders should have that courage to take that call, take that tough call. So the most important quality as a leader, you should be courageous enough to take tough call. Third important part is in today's world, leaders should be curious to learn and curious to unlearn as well. I mean, lot of unlearning also needs to happen, and lot of learning also need to happen. So learning and unlearning and learning both are important part of a leadership. As a leader, you should always be curious to learn. I mean, you should not feel that leadership role you know everything, right? So a lot of new things are happening. So that's important. So curiosity, nurture the curiosity, embrace the humility. Humility is also important part of leadership role in today's world. And probably in changing world also you need to cultivate the adaptability. I mean, that's also important part of leadership.
Thank you so much. Sir, I know I made your job difficult going the last on this one, but
you make the task the easiest, because I totally agree with Mridul and Rambharaji, because basic thought process of HR are the same, whatever the challenges may be. So whatever they said is the intrinsic truth. But I would just like to add on a few thoughts on the whole also in the CPSU perspective. So going on forward from there, in case we have a detailed roadmap, because the employees who are with us will stay, and resistance from my generation will be there, because we are since last 3 decades attuned to a setup kind of thing, and that was half the truth. Apart from that, we in big PSUs also have a lot of unions and some other organizations also. So at lower level also, they are at times resistant. So that is why I just said in the beginning that we must have a well thought out roadmap. In that, and that has to be a long term perspective. It will not just be a one time initiative. And then with that roadmap, we need to sensitize. Like in my case, we have 3 or 4 directors, let's say director finance, civil, technical, or HR, whatever. So then down the line, we have projects and corporate office. Then let's say we have civil contracts, designs, and talk about PSU, organization perspective. And then we have so many other departments. So all those have to be intertwined, and coming as on date, the era of total specialization will not be there. With this IA, it will be multitasking, and that complete compartmentalization or segregation of roles will intermingle. So with those background, we need to have continuous sensitization sessions at different levels, and it has to move forward in a continuous manner, spread over a period of, let's say, 2 years, 3 years. So in private, we can have people from outside very readily available. That is a possibility. But in our case, we also have options. We have various other very good agencies like KPMG, TCS, and all.
And SHRM.
Of course, not to say the list. So we can have a hand-holding contracts or some assignments of different modules spread over a period of 3-4 years, and have specific targets. And I said, repeating again and again, that detailed roadmap has to be there, and continuous follow-ups, weekly meetings or daily meetings, daily progress meetings or weekly meetings have to be there. And in that, the skill upgradation will be there. There's no doubt about it. But at the same time, as Pareshi said, that unlearning and that letting go is also very important. That it shouldn't happen that on one hand we have digitalization, and at the same time we continually go on with the hard paperwork also. So at one point of time we must let that go. So we have to move on forward, and it is a continuous, it is a painful process, and it has to be carried on.
Thank you so much, sir. I can go on and kind of enjoy the conversation, but in the interest of time, I'm going to open it up to the audience. Any questions that you would have to ask from the please. If you could give him a mic, I can actually.
I'm just changing context slightly before we are entering to the workforce. Because we have seen now, if you look at the education point of view and after that, now if you look at the entire context, people have, I say the students, more towards computer or something like that. Then now they're less interested towards civil, electrical, mechanical. These are the things which are really difficult for an organization, for technical organization, when we are going towards the technological advancement. So only this computer science or AI or related to that field not only going to help, because we have to ultimately go into the field. There we require an expert civil engineer, because that is most difficult part of an organization, for technical organization, to make these people to understand. So how you think like the corporate sector, so this balance between the people you are taking and making them for this organization, for a technical organization, to truly become a highly expert in that field. So how you feel in the context of our education system or the initial engineering or whatever thing, we should change so that we can make people understand at the beginning itself, it is not only that soft skill or soft technical part, it is the even physical high technical part is also required to build a future ready India.
So maybe I will give that answer in 2 parts. First part is that definitely if that needs to be done, corporates or PSUs needs to come forward, tie up with the institutions to create a co-created program for such students, wherein you can actually tell them that what is actually the machine is and how it looks like, and what kind of nitty-gritties of that machine, and that you should learn from it. That will also solve your recruitment problem to a large extent. You will get a ready-made resources and you can absorb them very easily. Right? Now that's a very easy part. Now let me come to the difficult part. The time is changing very fast, and as I was saying, and in fact I can give an example of my daughter. She is just 10 years old. One day I saw her that she was clicking pictures from my phone and then uploading it on ChatGPT to get the answers. So I asked her, what are you doing? So she said that I'm getting the answers from the ChatGPT. I said, but that's not meant for you. You should learn first your skills and then you should, use it whenever you grow up. She said, why? The tool is already available. It is meant for that. Why do I need to learn that? But today, I think kids are not ready to learn, and that's fair enough also, because the evolution is already going on, right? You need not that, formulas memorized over here. That job is being done by somebody else now. What needs to be done from you is that you can correlate. You can make it more insightful and then see that how you can implement it in the real practice. That's what the role is now. Right? So that will keep happening over the period of time. But if the new things are coming up, people are adapting, I think that's a good also. And especially AI you talk about, right? So that will continue to happen. So one way is that partnership with the academias or maybe institution where you can run this program, and at the same time how you can actually evolve your job descriptions over the period of time to see that what is a very, very monotonous or kind of a repetitive job which can be done by machines now, and you can utilize your people in a much better and efficient way going forward. So that's what my answer is.
Maybe anybody else? Yeah, okay, we have a gentleman over there. If you could pass on the mic. आपके लुक से लग रहा है सब डिफिकल्ट क्वेश्चन पूछने वाले हैं
बिल्कुल नहीं सर एचआर का आदमी हो तो ह्यूमन तो हमेशा रहेगा गुड मॉर्निंग एवरीवन गुड मॉर्निंग सर very wonderful insight from you Abdul. I was just hearing to all learned people here. I chose my career to be
Yes, still learning.
Yeah, obviously. First, I confused with the company's name, Cell. So I thought it's still authority.
I would love to join.
No.
That's a future.
That's a future.
See, the reason is I chose to make my career in HR. HR, when I was studying, my professor used to say, बेटा सब लोग बोलते हैं इंजीनियर बनो, डॉक्टर बनो, इंजीनियर बनो, तुम ह्यूमन इंजीनियर बनो. सो वो बड़ा कैची एक वर्ड मेरे को मिला उस समय, यू आर ह्यूमन इंजीनियर. लेकिन जब मैं एचआर में अपना कैरियर बनाना शुरू किया, मैंने स्टार्टेड माय कैरियर इन एचआर, मैंने थॉट कि ये तो ह्यूमन इंजीनियर तो हूँ ही नहीं, मैं कुछ और हूँ. सो दिस इज वंडरफुल. वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट इंटेलिजेंस, स्टार्टेड फ्रॉम IQ, then EQ, then SQ, and AI. AI stands for artificial. So it's not real intelligence, it's artificial intelligence. And who is making it? The human brain. So I am human. And my profession, it contains human in it. Very rightly, when Ran Paras was saying about 3 eyes, I think there is a dimension to 3 eyes, that is E, emotions. HR is all about emotions. The only difference in what Mr. Vidul Srivastava is doing and what we are doing in PSUs is, we are bound very harshly by the guidelines. We have a field to play, we can't move out from that. We cannot hit sixes like Dhoni, the stadium se bahar chala gaya. We have to be within our limits, and that makes our work tough and challenging.
Right.
Your institution, it's SHRM, Society for Human Resource Management. And what we are talking about is SHRM, where S stands for strategy. So the answer lies in what Mridulji just said. This generative AI is all about automating the rudimentary functions of HR. The mundane functions. We in PSU do a lot of mundane functions every day. We can't help it out. My leader, he is sitting here. He is himself indulged into so many mundane functions. He can't help it out here. He is here for a strategic role.
Yeah.
But our nature of job is such that we are compelled. We have to do that.
Yeah.
We have to do that. So the mantra to me is to shift from that mundane to strategy.
Right.
And there, the talent acquisition challenge will again, because it will become very easier. We are hiring people from IIMs, IITs, and get toppers and good people from all over, the academic institutions. But when they come to their shop floors, when they come to the workstations, the nature of work which they are doing is getting a lot of frustrations.
Right.
And then again, sir, Vidulji, we have generation X and Y and Z, all three. We have one under one roof. And this is again creating a challenge. So AI, I don't think it is going to be very disruptive as far as HR is concerned. The only thing is that we have to move from simple HR to strategic HR. And there the role of leadership is very much required. Absolutely. The board level people, the senior people, they have to understand that HR is not only about event managing, they are about decision making. And there the mantra and the success of HR lies.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Question is still missing.
Sir?
There is no question. We are waiting for the question.
The question, there is no question, sir. The only thing was that, the topic, the leadership readiness in the AI-driven world. I don't think that we are in an AI-driven world. It's just that we have started discussing AI. In PSUs,
We are in the process of readiness, basically.
definitely. So, the leaders are talking about AI. This shows that in PSUs also, we are aware of it.
Absolutely. With that thought, thank you so much, sir, for contributing. With that thought, I think let's give a big round of applause for the panel and for the audience for listening to us. I'm just going to end this one and ask my MC, Shri Vallabh to come back. I think, sir, well said on HR part. While yes, the board needs to understand, we need to contribute to the table. But yes, I think we also have a responsibility to own that seat on the table. Until we don't really go and contribute, and I like what you said, sir. It's for us to go and make that contribution. So until we don't do that, nobody's ever going to give us that seat. But thank you so much for being such a wonderful audience. Over to you, sir.
Alright, that was a wonderful discussion, wasn't it? So quickly, I will present some mementos to the participating panelists, and then may I request Dr. Patel to please do the honors.
Device.
All right, thank you so much. Yes, so we have a group photo session in a while, and it's happening where?
Outside.
It's outside. And then followed by tea break. And may I request everyone to please be back within 15 minutes.